Welcome to Truth or BS, a show where we break down statements and see if they're true or complete BS. Hey guys, before we start, I just want to say that I am proudly in the LGBTQ plus community and I am bisexual, so I am not being biased against or with anyone. Now that we got that out of the way, let's begin. First, let's look at the reason why people think that he is anti-LGBTQ. So it all started with this magazine company written by Jeff Green. He works for Bloomberg. He states, President-elect Donald Trump pledged to cancel the executive orders of his predecessor, which would have wide-ranging implications in comparison, paid leave, diversity in hiring, and protection for gay and transgender employees in the workplace. Now, this article was posted on January 16th, 2017. This was exactly 4 days before Donald Trump was inaugurated into office. Even after weeks Trump was inaugurated, there was still no changing in diversity. But the exact opposite happened. The White House released a statement saying, President Donald J. Trump is determined to protect the rights of the Americans, including the LGBTQ plus community. The executive order signed in 2014, which protects employees from anti-LGBTQ workplace discrimination, will remain intact, thereby making the claims by Bloomberg, Advocate, NBC News, and Politics USA invalid. Okay, so now let's look at another myth that people say about our president and his team. So, according to the Huffington Post, the US won't tally LGBTQ plus people in 2020 census. Later stating, no US census has ever integrated questions about sexual orientation or gender identity, which contradicts its title in one sentence. Let's move on to another article that I found on the NBC News. LGBTQ Americans won't be counted in 2020 census after all. They interviewed Ellis, which stated, by erasing LGBTQ Americans from the 2020 census, the Trump administration is adding a disgusting entry to a long list of tactics they've adopted to legally deny services and legitimacy to hardworking LGBTQ Americans. But according to the Federalist, because social scientists know closeted gay people would not accurately report their status, including such question would fail to represent the true size of the LGBTQ plus community, which I completely agree with. Okay, so now let's look at the third myth, that President Trump banned transgender people from entering the military. Now, looking at the real facts, this is only partly true, because even after the Don't Ask, Don't Tell Act was lifted by former President Obama in 2011, which was implemented by Bill Clinton, which states that gay, lesbian, and bisexual Americans can join the military, but they would have to keep their gender identity a secret. A ban on openly gay people was still a ban through the Obama administration up until 6 months after Trump's presidency. This was because when Obama was in office, he made a policy that whoever the next president of the United States was, 6 months after their presidency, this policy would go into effect. But when the policy's deadline emerged, President Trump demanded a halt, so we can finalize and go over all of the fine details with his defense secretary. After having this meeting, their new policy went into effect in March in 2018 and allowed for new and existing members to be trans just as long as they don't suffer gender dysphoria or require any transgender surgery after enlisting. Which, this is straightforward to me because why would you join the military expecting somebody else to pay your bill? Now let's talk about the fourth myth by Newsweek. This one's gonna be fun because Newsweek has a whole entire page dedicated to just corrections that they have to make about their pages. The order, which states, LGBT groups brace for Trump's religious freedom executive order, which in the article states, he's come for immigrants, he's come for Muslims, and now he's coming for the queers. But in reality, President Trump's executive order didn't give any exceptions to religious groups to discriminate against gay people, which was mentioned in an article by Christianity Today, which states a quote President Trump made while signing the order. I am signing today an executive order to defend the freedom of religion and speech in America, the freedoms that we wanted, the freedoms that you fought for so long. The federal government will never ever penalize any person for their protected religious belief, which proves Trump is not anti-LGBTQ, but let's just keep going because I find this fun. And I found some more evidence to prove my case. So, Trump appointed R. Clark Cooper to Assistant Secretary of State. And this is really important because he is one of the several people that are LGBTQ that Trump appointed into high-profile government jobs. Also, according to the Washington Examiner, the administration also worked consecutively with Log Cabin Republicans, which is the oldest LGBTQ Republican group, and he had their help pick appointments for federal judges. Thanks to their help, Trump nominated attorney Patrick Bumatoy to the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals and Judge Mary Rovland to the U.S. District Court of Illinois. Both are openly gay. Also, Trump negotiated a donation to Negoliad, a company that makes PrEP, an expensive drug that prevents HIV infection. So thanks to his donation, 200,000 individuals who are at high risk infection will now receive free PrEP for the next 11 years. And finally, the icing to the cake. President Trump had an interview in 2000 where they asked him questions, and way back then he supported same-sex civil unions. They asked him, why should gays and lesbians be interested in you as a presidential candidate? Trump states, I grew up in New York City, a town with different races, religions, and peoples. It breeds tolerance and all the truth. I don't care whether or not a person is gay. I judge people based off their credibility, honesty, and merit. Their lifestyle is no interest to me. They also asked Trump, would we see gay people in a Trump administration? He answers, I would want the best and brightest. Sexual orientation would be meaningless. I'm looking for brains and experience. If the best person for the job happens to be gay, I would certainly appoint them. They also ask him what he would do to combat gay injustice. He answers, I like the idea of amending the 1964 Civil Rights Act to include a ban of discrimination based on sexual orientation. Now, I just want to repeat that this interview was in 2000, when a lot of people were being made fun of and even killed for being openly gay. So let's end it off on a good note, and this is my favorite sentence out of the whole entire article. When somebody is victimized because of their ethnicity, the color of their skin, or their sexual orientation, that must carry a harsh penalty. Now that you watched the whole entire video, I hope this clears up the confusion around the Trump administration and President Trump being anti-LGBTQ+, because I see no evidence to support that. So let's spread this video so a lot of people can see it, so I can stop seeing people on my Twitter feed outing Trump for something that he did not do. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. It took a lot of time and effort to put into this because it took a lot of research to go digging and to just completely trash all of the articles that I found not trustworthy. A lot of articles are not trustworthy to me, but if you want to take a look in the description below, I linked a lot of articles that you can find that I used in this video. Now I'm really excited about this new series because this unlocks so much more things that I can do on my channel, but if you want to see more of the videos that I used to post, now I post on TikTok and Instagram. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.